Ilona was already jumping on. Maybe it was not intended, but if you are very tight for time, we can also ask you to be the next presenter because we are really lucky today. We have some really interesting people, and one of them is Ilona, and another is Luba, and they don't know that, but they are related based on one of my previous projects because they both worked on our small scale projects on circular skills. And we made a small video about your sustainable boutique, Six and Sons, right? But at that moment, it was still in Utrecht, and now it is in Amsterdam, which is quite a jump, I would say. So please tell about your mission and how you use storytelling in it.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm Ilona Taillade. I'm actually, the store was not in Utrecht, it was always in Amsterdam.
Oh.
Last 6 years. The idea behind Six and Sons was basically how do we bring entrepreneurs from international entrepreneurs to the Dutch market? And we created a store, a physical store and an online store. But going back to this discussion, which is digital storytelling, I'm really, really more about storytelling in general, because I think everything from corporate to entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, eco-entrepreneurs, the only way for people to really connect is if they really have some kind of, and I think Alina and also Annika mentioned this, it's really to have that human interaction or the human touch. So from our perspective, when we introduced a brand into our store and we were incubating the brand in our store, we always created short videos that we would show on social media. And those short videos were literally 5-10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds. But the idea of them was that when you buy a product or when you are introduced to a new product, it relates better when you know who made it or where it comes from. So really the essence of having a store like Six and Sons, and just to give you an idea what Six and Sons actually means, because it probably give you a better understanding as well. Six and Sons means 6 degrees of separation. I'm not sure if everyone knows this theory, but it's about that we are all connected. Even all of us who are on this round table are all connected within 6 people or less. So the idea is that if we work as a community and we know each other, then through those connections, we can actually have a better impact and to create communities in ourselves. So that's 6, and Sons actually stands for Save Our Nature Stories, because each brand, each entrepreneur is really about reducing waste. So that's Six and Sons. Me personally, the idea of having a digital platform and being able to talk, I really believe that everybody's on social media, whether they like it or not. It's part of our current lifestyle and a way to socialize. And during COVID, I think a lot of us who didn't do it started to do it. So when we have our entrepreneurs and they showcase their product, they're talking to a much bigger audience. An example would be, we have a brand called Ruma Cacao. And I don't know if everyone has tried cacao. Hot chocolate, some people call it hot chocolate. It's not hot chocolate. It's actually where the cacao originates from. So it's actually a fruit. But all these things is very difficult to tell people unless they're physically in the store or they're looking for the answers to a problem. And what the solutions typically are, and why we like to do the digital storytelling, is that you can tell something a little, let's say a snippet or a teaser, and then you can do the storytelling afterwards in the store itself. So I think digital storytelling in a nutshell is really how do you get as much information or as little information to a broader audience. And, you know, you were talking about also, Svetla, about Bulgaria and about translation and everything else. I mean, if you're watching a TikTok or, you know, any kind of YouTube or whatever it is, it's easily translatable. So it's just something that I think is becoming more of a connecting, people understanding more of how to connect online. I don't think it's the best way to do it, but I think it's a very important way to do it. And that is, in fact, the ability for cross-cultural conversations. My background is also Russian, but I'm from Australia. I lived in France for 10 years. So, you know, having a cultural mix and understanding that when you go into a new country, you really have to speak their voice. And having that understanding, you can then do storytelling in a different way. I just want to show you quickly, or share with you the presentation of Six and Sons, but I don't want to get into it too much. I'm not about selling the story of Six and Sons. I'm just going to show you, we already talked about Six and Sons, what it stands for. But for us, it's really about, these are the different stores, but it's really about loyalty. And loyalty you can really only get when people believe, trust, and want to know more. And that's how we talk about the mindful purchase and the experience. So again, getting back to digital, I'll give you a very simple, a nice, let's say, case study. We have people coming into the store, they discover the product, but then they need to explain that product, like the cacao, to somebody from their home, which could be in the US or in Australia or in Germany. And then they send a link to the website and to the product to their family. And then they also send the social media link, because on our Instagram, you will see that every brand that comes into our store, we ask them to create a little short video, is what I mentioned. So that's kind of like a very important aspect of what we do. We are basically making sure that there's always something new and innovative. And again, storytelling is the only way to connect emotionally. So we do that by using social. You know, we use it with Facebook, Instagram. We are definitely going to do more on TikTok and YouTube. As Annika said, she has a 12-year-old. I also have a 12-year-old. And their communication is really, you know, it's like what happened on TikTok or what happened on YouTube. And it's really also about the gaming aspect and how do people and kids connect through gaming, and how can we connect to them with telling the story in a similar tone. So that's basically my mission, is really to educate people about how we can do things in a physical and digital, but also unite those and connect those, because once we can do that, we can tell stories internationally. So thank you for listening. Okay, how do I stop sharing this? Yeah, got it. Done.